the students of AC Civil for the subject surveying, unit number 3, tachometry and contouring. For this we will refer the reference book Kanirkar Kulkarni, Duggal, Punmiya, Subramanyam, Basak, Das and Das. Now we will see the course outcome. On successful completion of this course, student will be able to define and explain basics of plane surveying and differentiate the instruments used for it. Second course outcome, express proficiency in handling surveying equipment and analyze the surveying data from these equipment. Third course outcome, describe different methods of surveying and find relative positions of points on the surface of Earth. Fourth course outcome, execute curve setting for civil engineering projects such as roads, railways, etc. Fifth course outcome, articulate advancements in surveying such as space-based positioning systems. Sixth course outcome, differentiate map and aerial photographs, also interpret aerial photographs. Now we will see the course objectives. With the successful completion of the course, the student should have the capability to describe the function of surveying in civil engineering construction. Second course objective is identify the sources of measurement, errors and mistake, understand the difference between accuracy and precision as it relates to distance, differential leveling and angular measurement. Third course objective, identify and calculate the errors in measurements and to develop corrected values of differential leveling circuits, horizontal distance and angles for open or closed loop traverse. Fourth course objective is effectively communicate with team members during field activities, identify appropriate safety procedures for personal protection, properly handle and use measurement instruments. Fifth course objective is be able to identify hazardous environments and take measures to ensure one's personal and team safety. Sixth course objective is perform traverse calculation, determine latitude, departure and coordinates of control points and balancing errors in a traverse. Use appropriate software for calculations and plotting. Seventh course objective is operate a total station to measure distance, angles and to calculate difference in elevation. Reduce data for application in geographic information system. Eighth course objective is work as a team member on a surveying party to achieve a common goal of accurate and timely project completion. Ninth course objective is calculate, design and establish curves, understand, interpret and prepare, plan, profile and cross-section drawings, work with cross-sections and topographic maps to calculate areas, volumes and earthwork quantities. Now we will see the unit number 3, tachometry and contouring syllabus. It includes part A, tachometry, which includes applications and limitations, principle of stadia tachometry, fixed air method with vertical staff to determine horizontal distances and elevations of points, finding tachometric constants, tachometric contouring and numericals. B part contouring, which includes definition of contours, characteristics of contours, contour patterns for various natural features, direct and indirect methods of contouring, uses of contour maps, study and use of topo sheets, profile leveling and cross-sectioning and their applications. Now we will see the part B, contouring, definition of contours, characteristics of contours, contour patterns for various natural features, direct and indirect methods of contouring, uses of contour maps, study and use of topo sheets, profile leveling and cross-sectioning and their applications. Now we will see the definition of contours. Contour is defined as an imaginary line on the surface of the ground joining the points of equal elevations. Here the word elevation means the height. A contour line is a line on a map representing a contour. The vertical distance between any two successive contours is called as contour interval. A contour interval is kept constant for a contour plane. The horizontal distance between the 2 points on any two consecutive contours is called as horizontal equivalent. A horizontal equivalent depends upon the stiffness of ground. So here we can see the figure showing the pond. This is the profile of the pond. This is the water level. At 10 meter we will consider water level, at 20 meter water level, at 30 meter interval. Now here projections are taken of 10 meter, similarly of 20 meter and of 30 meter are taken up, and the contour is drawn. This is of 10 meter. Then next contour, it is of 20 meter, green color. Then next contour, it is of white color, a 30 meter. Now here we can see the contours for the hill or the mountain. This is the profile of the ground. This is the hill. This is the level 10 meter. This is 20 meter and this is 30 meter, because this is 0 we have to consider. Now 30 meter projections are taken down. Similarly 20 meter projections are taken down. Then 10 meters projection are taken down. Then here the 10 meter contour is drawn. Similarly here the green color 20 meter contour is drawn. Similarly here white color the 30 meter contour is drawn. So we have seen the definition of contours. Now we will see the characteristics of contours. First characteristic is that two contour lines of different elevation cannot cross each other. However, contour lines of different elevations can intersect only in the case of an overhanging cliff or a cave. Second characteristic, contour lines of different elevations can unite to form one line only in the case of a vertical cliff. Third characteristic, contour lines close together indicate steep slope. They indicate a gentle slope if they are far apart. If they are equally placed, uniform slope is indicated. A series of straight, parallel and equally spaced contours represent a plane surface. Fourth characteristic of contour is the contour passing through any point is perpendicular to the line of steepest slope at that point, since the particular distance between the contour lines is the shortest distance. Fifth characteristic, a closed contour line with one or more higher ones inside it represents a hill. Similarly, a closed contour lines with one or more lower ones inside it indicates a depression without an outlet or pond. The sixth characteristic of a contour, two contour lines having the same elevation cannot unite and continue as one. Similarly, a single contour cannot split into two lines. This is evident because the single line would otherwise indicate a knife edge ridge or depression, which does not occur in nature. However, two different contours of the same elevation may approach very near to each other. The seventh characteristic, a contour line must close upon itself, though not necessarily within the limits of map. Eighth characteristic, contour line cross a watershed or ridge line at right angles. They form curves of U shape round it with the concave side of the curve towards the higher ground. So here we can see the figure showing the ridge line. So this dotted line is the ridge line, and these are the contours: 10 meter, 15 meter, 20 meter, 25 meters. And another is the line. This is called as the valley line. These are the 10, 15, 20, 25, the contours, the ridge line and the valley line. Ninth characteristic, a contour line cross a valley line at right angles. They form sharp curves of V shape across it with convex side of the curve towards the higher ground. If there is a stream, the contour on either side turning upstream may disappear in coincidence with the edge of the stream and cross underneath the water surface. Next characteristic, 10th characteristic of the contour is the same contour appears on either sides of a ridge or valley. For the highest horizontal plane that intersects the ridge must cut it on both sides. The same is true of the lower horizontal plane that cuts a valley. So we have seen the characteristics of contours. Now we will see the contour patterns of various natural features. So various natural features are ponds, hill, saddle, gentle slope, steep slope, cliff, then overhanging cliff, valley line and ridge line. So we have seen the patterns. So we have seen the contour patterns for various natural features. Now we will see the direct methods of contouring. The contour to be plotted is actually traced on the ground. Only those points are surveyed which happen to be plotted. After having surveyed those points, they are plotted and contours are drawn through them. The method is slow and tedious and is used for small areas and where great accuracy is required. So we have seen the direct methods of contouring. Now we will see the indirect methods of contouring. In the indirect method, some suitable guide points are selected and surveyed. The guide points need not necessarily be on the contours. These guide points, having been plotted, serve as basis for the interpolation of contours. This is the method most commonly used in engineering surveys. So we have seen the indirect methods of contouring. Now we will see the uses of contour maps. First is the drawing of sections. Next use the determination of intervisibility between the 2 points. Third use of the contour is tracing of contour gradients and location of route. The fourth use of contour map is to measurements of drainage areas, and fifth use of the contour map is calculation of the reservoir capacity. So we have seen the uses of the contour maps. Now we will see the profile leveling. So this is the profile leveling which is shown. Profile leveling of a road. The scale is taken horizontal 1:1000 and vertical it is 1:100. So the chainage is written 0 meter, 30 meter, 60 meter, like that the chainage is written. Then ground levels are written here. Then next is the filling or the embankment, the positive, it is written here. Then the cutting, if it is minus, then it is written here. Then the formation level or the profile level of the road, it is calculated here, and the datum it is considered, and the gradient has to be considered. So here we can see the ground level, and this is the formation level, this straight line. So we have seen the profile leveling. Now we will see the cross sectioning. So here we can see the cross section in cutting of a road. The scale which is taken horizontal as 1:100, similarly vertical 1:100. So here the chainage is taken for 180 meter, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15 meters on the left as well as on the right it is. So ground level is here, then the filling or embankment positive values, then the cutting negative value it is written here, then formation level it is written here, then datum we have to consider and it has to be drawn. So the line on the above it is the ground line and the below line it is the formation level or the formation line. This is the cross section. So here we can see the road cross section. This is the cross section in the embankment and this is in the cutting. So we have seen the cross sectioning. So we have seen the part B, contouring, definition of contours, characteristics of contours, contour patterns for various natural features, indirect and direct and indirect methods of contouring, uses of contour maps, study and use of topo sheets, profile leveling and cross sectioning and their applications. So these are the YouTube links which are available on the YouTube. First is understanding contour lines. Next is the contour lines, characteristic of contour lines, contouring, surveying, civil engineering. Contour lines, relief features in topo sheet, ICSE, geography class 10. Next YouTube link is the methods of contouring, contour lines, contouring, surveying, civil engineering, Hindi. Next YouTube link, civil engineering, surveying, leveling, types of leveling, profile leveling. Next YouTube link, longitudinal sectioning and cross sectioning. Next YouTube link, 06 cross section. Next YouTube link, ICSE geography topographical map. So we have seen part B, contouring, definition of contours, characteristics of contours, contour patterns for various natural features, direct and indirect methods of contouring, uses of contour maps, study and use of topo sheets, profile leveling and cross sectioning and their applications. So this is the syllabus of unit number 3, tachometry and contouring, which includes part A, tachometry, which includes application and limitations, principle of stadia tachometry, fixed hair method with vertical staff to determine the horizontal distances and elevations of points, finding tachometric constant, tachometric contouring and numericals. B part, contouring. It includes definition of contours, characteristics of contours, contour patterns for various natural features, direct and indirect methods of contouring, uses of contour maps, study and use of topo sheets, profile leveling and cross sectioning and their applications. Thank you all students.